How do? Villordsutch here, and today I am answering 10 questions from Bazza H. Now, yesterday he answered 10 questions from myself, and today it's my turn. Now, whereas Bazza H read them off his phone, I have wisely printed them out on a piece of paper. Only because, like Bazza H, if my phone goes off, I've got to use my thumbprint to turn it on, then I've got to go to Messenger, and da 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 da. It's a pain in the arse. So using this new form of technology, Bazza printed them off. So I've got 10 questions. Some of them are quite interesting. Well, some of them. So I'll start the ball rolling. My favourite ZX Spectrum game. My favourite ZX Spectrum game is, should I be ashamed to say this? It's a free game. It was a free game, and it's a cover tape from your Sinclair, the best Spectrum magazine ever. And it was Batty from Elite. It was a breakout clone, as everybody should know. But whenever I install an emulator on anything from my DS to a PC to Raspberry Pi, whatever, the first game that I install is Batty. I know, like I said, it's a breakout clone and it's a simple affair. You move the bat left, you move the bat right, you bounce the ball back. I love it. I truly love it. And I can't explain why, because it's really bloody simple. However, I love it. I know there's numerous games out there which deserve more attention, like Night Law and Head Over Heels and R-Type, which are all fantastic games, but Batty is my initial go-to game. My favourite modern game, oh sweet Pete. Now I could say Skyrim, because that's huge, or World of Warcraft, because that's even bigger. I know. The Last of Us on the PlayStation 4. That was a game where I lost real time in that game. Remember the film Children of Men, where there's a big scene at the end where it's trying to escape Bexel-on-Sea. Who doesn't want to escape Bexel-on-Sea? He's trying to escape Bexel-on-Sea, and it's a huge raids happening on the city, and it's the noise and the violence that goes on is massive. However, I spent that entire scene, because it looks like it's one continuous shot, but rather cleverly it's not. I spent that entire scene, as it was, in absolute silence, where most of The Last of Us, because of the story that plays out, I remember sat there in silence playing that game. My hands were working, my eyes and brain were processing the information, but I remember sat there, a dog, and what was going on and what was being fed to me. It's a fantastic game. If you're going to buy a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 4, the first thing I'd say to pick up is The Last of Us. And the second one's been announced. I hope that's just as good. Why do you have a YouTube channel? Is that an install, Bazza? Yeah, Phil, you hack. Why do you have a YouTube channel? A natural progression. I was employed by the NHS for about 17 years, and then I was struck down with a neurological condition. And they got rid of me. I became a writer for Flickering Myth. And I also had in the background a shitty YouTube channel, which I just uploaded crap to, like PlayStation 4 oddities, like, oh look at me shoot some bastard in the face with a sniper rifle, or this is me out with the family, and odds and sods like that. Nothing major. And then one day I thought, well, I've got this YouTube channel, why don't I make use of it? So I thought, well, Your Sinclair being the greatest Spectrum magazine, I'll do the top 100 Spectrum games from 1991. And I actually thought, nobody would really pay much attention to it because there's so many ZX Spectrum channels out there that it would be one of those. It would be something for me, something to occupy my rotting days in the house, messing around on a video editor and just doing something. So I did iVideo and I asked for some help. And next thing, people are springing up all over the place. Subscribers, people are commenting. I thought, bloody hell, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I'm playing Spectrum games, but I enjoy it because there's people who feed Matt. I enjoy it because there's a community out there who enjoy it too, and you also find other people who make more YouTube videos which I wouldn't have found before as well. So I'll watch Bazza's or Gigapunk's video and Steve Benway's video and every other video as well. Sometimes videos that aren't even related to Spectrums, you'll be knocked on by somebody commenting, and I love it. It's opened up a massive place for me. So why do you have a YouTube video? Because I fell ill and stopped me rotting. Hot pudding and this is a tongue twister. Hot pudding and cold custard, or hot pudding and hot custard. No, yeah, or cold pudding and hot custard. What? I know. I would have to say cold pudding and hot custard. The reason being, I like Mr. Kipling cherry bakewells and hot custard because I like it when the icing begins to melt on the cherry bakewells. Yes, that is what I'm choosing. So that's cold pudding and hot custard. Though I do like my sticky toffee pudding and custard, or bread and butter pudding and custard. But my preferred pudding of choice would always be a Mr. Kipling cherry bakewell and a very hot Ambrosia Devon custard. Favourite album? Favourite album? Oh my god. What day is it? I listen to so much music, and it's not all of the same genre. It could be, I don't know, it could be Black Sabbath Volume 4 one day, or War, America Must Be Destroyed, or Faith No More, Garbage, Metallica, Jane's Addiction. Sweet Pete, Bazza. That's not a question you ever asked me. Yesterday I was listening to Classic FM. Bazza, what you asked me that question for? I think the longest I've ever listened to an album, what was I listening to yesterday? I was listening to, oh no, that's even worse. I was listening to a Rick and Morty compilation on Spotify. No. I think the most album I ever listened to was Metallica, Master of Puppets, like on repeat, when I was cutting down bracken over the moors for a landscaping firm. So I think I'll have to say Master of Puppets, Metallica. But I can't really pick one. But I'll say Master of Puppets, Metallica. Have you ever wrestled another man in a Turkish bath? Even play wrestle? In a Turkish bath? No. Have I ever been in a fight though? That's not on here, but I'll tell you something. I've never actually been in a physical fight. When I was in Senior 2, which is in, what's that, New Money? That'll be like year 8, everybody in New Money. The local school puncher decided to punch me in the face, and because I realised this was heading for a fight, I decided that I don't want to fight, and decided to clump on the floor. So I lay on the floor, no fight. Don't want to be in a fight. Maybe a 6-foot Viking, don't want to be in a fight. Cats or dogs? Which do you prefer? Dogs, straight away. I've got 3 cats. We've got 3 cats in the house, which is surprising because they've not walked in. Oh, that's because we've got the door shut. When I do a video, sometimes you'll hear a trip, 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 trip. That's the dog. As soon as I start speaking on a video, the dog walks in or farts, or the cats will jump on the table or start plucking me. The dog, I prefer dogs still. Our dog is an old lady now, and she knows what she wants. She'll walk in, she'll sleep, and when she wants attention, she'll walk in, come up to you, nuzzle you, and you'll tickle her belly or rub her head, whatever, and then she'll walk out. She wants her attention when she wants it. The cats, however, they'll come in, take you, scratch you, pluck your man boobs, have a go at your groinal area near your gland, pluck your settee, tell you to fuck off, and then they'll leave the room. We have one annoying little bastard, a ginger cat. He's got 3 names, Ginger, Biscuit, and Gigi, and he's an arrogant little SOB. Doesn't want to speak to anybody, and at night he comes in and moans. Really moans, meows all over the place, and then walks out. So dogs all the way. What 4 people would you invite round for dinner? That is historical figures and why. Marilyn Monroe, because she was beautiful. Patrick Moore, because I used to always like watching him on the Sky at night, and he could explain stars and shit to me. Did he have to be alive or dead? Because I'd invite Keith Chegwin around, because he could tell me a few stories about some famous people. And who else would I invite around? The man who played Mr. Brunson from Grange Hill, because he was in nearly every film that I love, film and television, and he could tell me a few bits of classic film history. What do your family think of YouTube hobby? Well, my youngest daughter made me a paper YouTube play button, because every time I get a new subscriber, I ask if I get my diamond play button now. My middle daughter comes home and tells me that people at school have been asking about what games we've got to review. My eldest daughter, I don't think she's fussed at all. And my wife, I think she's just happy that I'm not sticking my dick in plug sockets. So, you know. What ZX Spectrum game? What's your worst ZX Spectrum game? Now, I could pick Hypersports, because that was fucking dire. Pardon my French. I'm not going to pick Football Manager, because I hated Football Manager, but that was a personal hate, because I hate football. But Kevin Thomas Football Manager is loved by loads of people, and quite rightly, because it is, for football fans, an excellent football game, but I don't like football. Let's have a think. No, I did 5 worst ZX Spectrum games ever, didn't I? What was on that list? Airwolf. Airwolf didn't deserve to be on that list. I don't like Airwolf, but it's not a worse game, it's just hard. Squidge, which was the pigeon game, which you couldn't actually do anything on. What else was on it? Oh, Renegade 3, which is a bag of shit. Super Gran. Oh, Super Gran was bad. Super Gran was really bad. Oh, and EastEnders. Oh, EastEnders. Oh my god, yes. The worst game ever in the world is EastEnders. Guaranteed. That game is responsible for wasting the Earth's resources, both paper and oil. EastEnders, the people that made that should be sent to The Hague for crimes against humanity and wasting the Earth's resources. It's awful. Never play EastEnders. Just watch my video and you'll see why. Never play EastEnders. That concludes the list of 10 questions sent to Villordsutch. I hope you're enlightened. I shall nominate Gigapunk for the next 10 questions. I shall send you a list of 10 questions, Gigapunk, all of them to troll your mind of information. Thank you, Bazza H, for sending me the 10 questions. I hope everybody found those interesting. I now know why I'm so messed up. So, TTFN everybody, ta-ta for now, cheerio, and bye-bye. Bye-bye everybody, bye-bye.